Hey everybody, American Samurai back again with another Golden Age Comic Review. Today we're taking a look at the Fighting Yank issue number 22. This contains the several Fighting Yank stories, untitled sadly. Or no, I guess they're titled. So the first story we have is The Black Wings of Death. Where the Fighting Yank, weird black-winged carriers of death flap through the gloom, a dark deserted mind. Sinister hands grip death-dealing guns as Bruce Carter, as the Fighting Yank, takes part in a dangerous game of money and murder, the Black Wings of Death. Yeah, essentially, Diane and Bruce Carter III are on vacation, and things kind of go strange from there. But the mine has another rare mineral that could cause what's worth more than gold. And the next one is The Fighting Yank in the World That Time Forgot. Away from the beaten track, time and a civilization lost, deep dark primitive jungle, a strange mountain looms down itself, an eerie creature forgotten. Creatures forgotten. Forgotten history, there too goes Fighting Yank. Probing the mysteries of the world of time forgotten. Essentially, a friend of the Fighting Yanks is trying to start this company of flying freight to different places, but various planes go missing along the pilots, and it's not going well. All the Fighting Yank, Bruce goes to investigate, then he can take his friend, the Fighting Yank, along. Essentially, something similar, saying Clark Kent saying, "Oh, I'll take my good friend Superman along." And they find out that there's this magnet beam. So the plane's out, and it's really the partner of the firm. He wants to bankrupt the guy so he can sell it cheap and get the other controlling stock in the company, and well, it doesn't end well for the bad guys. In fact, the whole civilization doesn't end well. But Bruce, the pilots, and Diane manage to escape. Then we get the first text story. About Danny's dog, about these two fur trappers who gets and huskies being saved by a St. Bernard dog, owned by a young man named Danny. And then the last story for the Fighting Yank is about an orphanage being run by a cruel matron who is essentially turning her young charges into pickpockets. And we find out that, among other things, she's keeping the person. Apparently, one of the boys, Danny, her mother wants to get him back, but she can't because the matron is keeping him from her. And the matron is actually a man in disguise. Then we have the next story, the man from Bulgaria. The guy in charge of the embassy is trying to basically keep everything, safe for this foreign king visiting. But these criminals are going to try and take over the embassy so they can assassinate him. But the security guard sets things up so people know what's going to happen, so his son can get out safe and the bad guys get caught. And then we have a guest feature, which is, of course, Miss Masquerade. Apparently there's a different guest feature each issue. This one is called Devils to Pay. Essentially, we have 3 guests at this concert party dressed up like a devil. And one kills a man, and it's up to Miss Masquerade to figure out who's the real killer. I'm not going to tell you more because eventually I'm going to put, probably at the same time this goes up, maybe the next day or so, there'll be a flip through of this very comic, and you'll be able to read the story yourself and find out who done it. Overall, I give this 5 out of 5. Really enjoyed it, but let me know what you think if you've read this issue. If you can't wait, go to the Digital Comic Museum and go to America's Best Comics. Look up Fighting Yank issue 22. Alright, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon for new. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground and your nose in the book. Until next time, keep those pages turning. Comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon for new, and we'll see you next time.